Assalamu alaikum everyone. The topic for today is recommendation letters or how to draft a recommendation letter. It's not a topic which is very close to my heart, to be honest, so my motivation level may be a bit low, so bear with me. The reason being that this is not something that we should be addressing to begin with. This is a teacher's or a professor's job. Essentially, if a student approaches them and they ask them for their help for for a recommendation letter, then they should be able to draft it and upload it to the university's portal wherever the student is applying. But apparently, based on what I've been told by some students, certain professors, they are reluctant to do that, and their excuse normally is that I don't have time to do that. You can draft it, you can bring it to me, and then I will upload it for you. And yeah, I was approached by a few people who were struggling a little. They didn't know what to write in their letters and whatnot. And then we ended up drafting a letter. They went back to the professors, whoever they were. They edited the letters and then they uploaded them to the portal. So essentially, the student did not do anything dodgy, but a very straightforward and simple process. Essentially was not for them. It became a very difficult process, which should not be the case. So if you end up in such a situation, at least you should know what should be the contents of a reasonable recommendation letter. So I've jotted out a few things here. There's the professor, when you start the letter, the professor should acknowledge that the student approached me for this recommendation letter, and on their request I'm writing to the university to let them know that I am their academic reference or academic referee. After that, they should also mention that how do I know this student, what courses did I teach this student, and how did the student do in those courses. That's very important. And then after that, if they can talk a little about the students, if the student is into community services or social welfare, that sort of work, which is outside of their academic responsibilities or their professional responsibilities, then that's always good. So if they can touch upon that I know this student and this student is into community services, they're into fundraising and things like that, then that creates a good impression. So that's another thing that a recommendation letter should address. And then of course, what if the student, if they are a professional and they have a job, then what do they do in their daily life? What are their responsibilities? What is their level, middle management, high management? Are they just starting their career, that sort of stuff? And that's extremely important. And the future program that they have chosen to study, how are their responsibilities, their day-to-day responsibilities, how are they aligned with that program, and how is their previous education aligned with the chosen program? That's extremely important. I'll repeat that. So if the student is in a job, then what do they do on a regular basis, their professional responsibilities, and their previous education, their previous degree, how are these two things aligned with what they want to do in their future program? The professor should mention that. They should give their views on that, and then towards the end they should also describe the student as a person, like their personal traits. For example, was the student punctual? Was this student serious about their education? Did they have future plans, or that sort of stuff, that kind of stuff. So they should always mention these personal traits in that letter as well. And then to finish it off, they should in the end give their opinion that based on what I have discussed in this letter, I believe that the student will be able to finish this program off successfully. And what are some of the benefits that the student will get out of this program? Like, for example, if it's a master's student, they're going to go back, they're going to go to whatever country they're going, they're going to finish off their degree, they're going to come back, and based on that education which they're going to get abroad, they will get a promotion, for example, or they will be able to start their own business, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'll quickly, as I always do, I'll quickly sum it up. In a recommendation letter, start with acknowledgement that the student approached me and they requested me to be their academic reference or academic referee. and that's why I'm writing to you. How do they know the student? What courses did they teach the student? And how well did the student do in those courses? Very important. Community services, social work, that sort of stuff. If there's anything that the student is involved in, it's extremely important that the professor mentions that, because in these societies, academics, they're considered important, but if you're doing something on top of that, then that gives you an edge. So community services, social work, as I said, if a student is into that, always mention that, their professional responsibilities, and what kind of a role do they have, and how are their professional responsibilities, their previous education, and the program that they've chosen for the future, how are they all aligned? Because if they are not in line, then obviously the university might reject your application. So it's important that the professor says that I can see this person connecting the dots very nicely, strategically. So that's one thing. And towards the end, their personal traits, of course, punctuality and stuff like that, honesty and things like that, seriousness in life, that's something that they can mention as well. And in at the very bottom of the letter, in the very end, they can say that why they think that the student will be successful in their education, and what are they going to get out of it. So yeah, these are some of the things. Again, the format, I'm not going to get into the format. The format is available on the internet. All you have to do is to just Google it, and you will find the format, the structure, and everything like that. But basically, people struggle with the content of the letter itself. So yeah, I've touched upon some of the basic things that should go in a recommendation letter. If I've missed out on anything, just please, yeah, mention in the comments maybe, and help each other out. I mean, as I said, this topic is not something which is very close to my heart, so my motivation level is a bit low. But yeah, if it has to be done, has to be done. Yeah, thank you very much, and I will see you guys whenever else I will see you guys. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.